Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into Key Time Sports. It's Key Time coming back with another one to talk about the things that I saw during week 10 of the college football season. So, the first game I want to get into that I saw is Ohio State versus Penn State. Now, I knew that this game was going to be close, and I said this to everybody that this game was going to be close, but what really threw this game in the Buckeyes' favor is the turnovers. The turnovers and the ineptitude of Penn State converting on third down. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of stats that were really staggering to me. So now you see where Will Howard, he was 16 of 24, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, but that 1 interception did not cost them because the Ohio State defense stiffened when it had to. Drew Aller, the Penn State Nittany Lions quarterback, was 12 of 20, 146 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So now, over the game, Penn State cracked over 100 yards rushing, 120 to be exact, and Ohio State cracked over 100 yards rushing, 179 to be exact. But where I see where the game was won and lost on the Ohio State side and on the Penn State side is third down conversions. You see this? Ohio State was 16 of 13 on third downs, and Penn State was 3 of 11 on third downs. So when it comes to this same amount, they had the same amount of yards on every play, but Penn State's efficiency when it comes to getting down in the red zone hurt them, and it has really hurt them throughout the entirety of this season because a few games prior to Ohio State, they got down there a lot of times and kept kicking field goals against top upper echelon competition. You are going to have to put the ball in the end zone, and Penn State failed to do that. They did. Now, on the Ohio State side of things, I expected Ohio State to go into Penn State and win because they've done that for the last 5 years. I mean, Penn State, they haven't won over the Ohio State Buckeyes in 8 years, since 2016. So it has been a sort of a one-sided series throughout the last 8 years. So Ohio State, they are in the top 5 now. Penn State, they are going to drop. And the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to Penn State is James Franklin. 1-13 in big-time games with teams that are in the top 25. This coach has proven that he cannot win the big games. And he cannot win those games that will put his team up there with some of the best. Now, Penn State, coming into this game, they were ranked number 3. If they would have beaten Ohio State, they probably would have been 1 or 2, depending on if Oregon and Georgia would have lost their games. But when we see Penn State, James Franklin can't win the big games, can't win those top 5, top 10 games. And James Franklin, he is not the guy for Penn State because it has been every year since he's been hired where they will beat up on unranked teams, blow them out by 30 or 40 points. And then when you get to teams like Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, or somebody of that caliber, you lose. So Penn State has just been a whole lot of hype over the last 3 or 4 years, and it showed on Saturday. The next game I want to talk about is the Oregon Ducks and Michigan Wolverines. Now, this game, I expected the Oregon Ducks to dominate this game, and that's exactly what they did. Dylan Gabriel, 22 of 34, 294 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, And with the Michigan Wolverines, like I've been saying all throughout the season, they have had a 3 quarterback system. Davis Warren, 12 of 21, 164 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Alex Orji, 1 of 3, 1 yard, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Samaj Morgan, 0 of 1, 0 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. This was just a offensive lackluster performance when it comes to the when it comes to the Michigan Wolverines. I've been stating this all throughout all throughout the season that Michigan is not going to be the same team as they were last season. They will not even make it to the college football playoff. And it looks like they are going to have a tough time even trying to become bowl eligible. Now, if they get one more win, they're bowl eligible. But what has the Michigan Wolverines done consistently, week in, week out, game in and game out, quarter in and quarter out throughout the season, that'll give the Michigan fan base hope that they will make a bowl eligibility run. It seems like it doesn't matter who Sharon Moore puts back there. The quarterback cannot take over the games like when you play against top-notch teams. Now, like I said, one win that Michigan had over this one win Michigan had early in the season, they were lucky to get that game versus USC. They were, because they had over 200 yards rushing on the ground. Oregon, top-notch team, solidified why they are number one, still have a well-oiled machine. And the Oregon Ducks, they are going to be in this. They are going to be in the thick of things come late next month and early January. So, does Oregon have the best odds at winning the championship? No, Georgia does, but Oregon is third behind Ohio State. So, third down efficiency, Oregon, they were 10 of 15 on third down. Michigan was 4 of 12 on third down. And that's basically where Oregon won this game. Behind, they almost had 500 yards of total offense. Oregon did. And Michigan only had 270 yards of total offense. So that's all I got for the Michigan Wolverines and Oregon Ducks game. The next and last game I want to talk about before I get out of here is the border battle between the Florida Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs. Looked like the Georgia Bulldogs wanted to give this game away early third quarter. I mean, it really did, because when you see now, I'm not even going to get into the stats right quick, but when you see what the Georgia offense was doing in the first and second quarter, they wasn't really lighting up the scoreboard like everybody predicted that Georgia would. I saw where Florida seemed like they had a chance to really put the hammer to the nail and put a stamp on this game and get at least a 16, 17 point lead. They had a chance to do that. But like I said, Billy Napier, his offensive play calling is just awful. It's just awful. Billy Napier is on his way out, Florida fans. So everybody who's a Florida fan, including me, we are going to have something to talk about at the end of the season, because Billy Napier is on his way out. He has never beat Georgia. He has never beat Tennessee. He lost to Vanderbilt. He's lost to Vanderbilt twice. He hasn't beat Florida State at all. So the top-notch teams and the rivalries that the Florida Gators have, Billy Napier has never beaten one of those teams. So with that, he is gonna be out. He is gonna be fired out of the door. So, and as far as excuse me, as far as DJ Lagway, DJ Lagway is here to stay. Now, I don't agree with what Billy Napier called on that second down play in the second quarter. He called a draw play at the 25-yard line on second down, and that is where DJ Lagway got hurt. And let me just tell you, even when DJ Lagway got hurt, the Gators still had a chance at winning the game. It wasn't until late in the fourth quarter where Georgia pretty much put separation between them and the Gators. So Florida, they might have a chance at beating Georgia next year, but Georgia, you have a lot of stuff that you have to clean up, really. I mean, Carson Beck, he had a decent game, but the interceptions, his interception total has been increasing over the last couple of games. He had 3 versus Florida. He had 2 versus Texas. I mean, when it comes to rushing games for both Florida and Georgia, they pretty much were the same. Georgia had 146 yards rushing. Florida had 115 yards rushing. And as far as team stats concerned, when it comes to third down efficiency, both teams were pretty much inept on third down. Florida, 3 of 16 on third down. Georgia, 4 of 11 on third down. Total yards, Georgia had 455. Florida had 228. So Georgia, they basically were in a dogfight with a third string quarterback with the Gators, and the Gators, they really could have won this game if they would have done a whole lot more in the third quarter and not let the lead go. So this game, all in all, this was a entertaining game. Georgia, you still right there. You still have a chance at making the college football playoff. Florida, oh man, Florida. You got 2 more. You got to at least win 2 more games to become bowl eligible. But even if you do that, Billy Napier is still on his way out the door. So Florida, you have a whole lot to improve on. And with that, those are my reactions to Week 10 of the 2024 college football season. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the notification bell to get notified of all of my reaction videos, shows, and other content. Also, please like and follow Key City Sports on TikTok. And remember one last thing, the key is always on time.